I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, the spin-off podcast from the web series The Two Dicks, which you can see on YouTube. I'm Al Ducharme in front of the palm trees and the waves, and over there, the man in the mask. Who is that man in the mask? Is Al Romas. He's unveiling his face, and he's got a new nose job. There it is.
Hey, how are you?
You had your micro eyebrows done. What is it? Microblading.
20 years.
20 years. Look at that.
They added 20 years. I'm now 74. So
74.
Look pretty nice.
You look good.
Yeah, and behind me is the theater that
On the
I
ship.
will be performing in. I took a picture of it the other day. Let me get out of the way. You can see it.
Yes.
You've probably been here. You've probably
I've been there. It's like
stage,
it's like a 900 seat theater or something like that. 900 seat theater. I'm trying to remember.
I think it is in the 9. I think it is the 900. Yeah, it's 2 level, deck 3 and 4.
On that ship class. Yeah. It's not like the Allure where they have, what is it, 1200 or something like that?
No, this is the Freedom class, I believe. It's
Freedom
Adventure, and but yeah, about 900, and we'll be starting up there on the 12th. June 12th is the first cruise out of Nassau. So
iceberg right ahead.
I don't think so. Going to the Bahamas and Cozumel, Mexico. It'd be odd, but who knows?
Is there an ice rink on that ship?
There is Studio B.
Studio B. So what I'm saying is they have ice. They have a whole ice rink, and they have the dancers come out. Did you ever perform on the ice?
I performed on the ice. Yeah, we did late night or whatever, farewell or something. I don't remember. Yeah, I think clean comedy because we had kids in the crowd.
Right.
And one time there's a comedian, I won't use his name, but an older guy who, just was kind of over. And anyway, he was on the ice and he was bombing. First 5 minutes, just going in the tank, bombing, didn't know what to do.
He's on
So
ice.
he walked over. He walked over to the crowd and a little kid was there. Kid was not a little kid, maybe 10, 11.
Mm-hmm.
And he handed the kid the microphone and he said, "Hey, why don't you tell a joke there, kid?"
Oh boy.
And the kid goes, "How about your act?" And the guy's like, "Whoa," meaning your act is a joke. And the crowd went nuts. And I was in the back. I fell down laughing. And the guy, there wasn't much that you could do after that. The kid had great timing too. The timing was perfect.
How old? 10 years old?
Because you have
10 years
old because you have a joke. He goes, "Yeah, your act." Oh, beautiful.
The 10-year-olds, they haven't experienced quite enough to have a filter. So there's nothing to, it's just organic, it's organic. That's
it was
beautiful.
great. And in front of a crowd. And then the guy just took the mic from him. It was like, like under his breath, probably going, "Fuck off." And then he had to do another 15. After that, you have to do, you have to do 20 minutes. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So then I came out and it was just like, "How about that piece of shit? Wasn't he awful? That guy sucks." And the crowd went nuts. No, I'm kidding. It's what you want to do. You can never do.
Yes. You're saying it. The dialogue in your head is there. Whatever comes out is,
yeah.
Hey, either you don't acknowledge them. Hey, let's hear it for the 10-year-old.
Yeah. Even that's horrible because then you got to deal with the guy.
Yeah.
So really you have to come out and go, "How about a hand for that guy?"
You still did it?
So it's tough. I did. I mean, I assume. I don't remember. I assume
you went pro because you felt bad for him. You felt a little bad for him.
I went pro, man. Yeah, I went pro instead of con. Yeah.
Yep. You're a gentleman.
Exactly.
Not all the time, but you can.
You got to deal with not all the time, but the thing is, you got to deal with the guy in 20 minutes. I got to see the guy on stage.
Yeah.
You don't want to start shit. So, you got to just be like, "Hey, we've all eaten it." And I've just never, but I think one of the rules of you don't hand the microphone to anyone, let alone a little kid. You don't.
No. You hold on to the microphone. You can question someone, get an answer, and you can pull away. But when you surrender the microphone, it's like surrendering the stage. And don't ever surrender the stage like Mark Norman did with Jerry Seinfeld. You don't introduce the guy and leave the stage and then come running back out because you went off early. You stay there.
But that wasn't his fault. It really wasn't his fault. He finished his time. He thought there was no light.
He did 12 minutes instead of 15. So Jerry had 3 minutes. And for a comic, 3 minutes is a song. That's an eternity. And
right, but there should have been some production guy or somebody backstage going, "Hey, go back." Or he said there was no one there.
Well, that's unprofessional on the Beacon Theater, but
exactly,
he should have said Jerry Seinfeld, and then he doesn't see him. Oh, well, he's not there. Okay, I'll do another joke. I've done that before, not because I was getting off early. Well, my wife will argue that, but the point is, the person just wasn't there. They were late. So I went, nope, they're not here. Okay, cool. So he'll be here in a second. I may make a joke about them not being there,
right.
Probably in the restroom, whatever.
And, I did. Of course, you would always go restroom, I would imagine. I could see your brain going.
I'm just saying you have options.
Restroom. That worked out for me once. I did a college years ago opening for Dennis Miller, and he was very late. And I was supposed to do, say, 20, and he wasn't there. So they go, the guy on the side of the stage is going, "Hey, Miller's not here. Just stretch. Can you stretch?" And so I stretched to whatever, 45 or so. And but it went great. It went, I was killing. So then when I got done, Miller went up and he had a bad attitude. The kids didn't like him. So I ended up coming back to the school 3 months later as my own headliner kind of deal. With much more money because of that show, how great it went. And then, of course, that show was just, it was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't that at all.
It's colleges, show at all. Colleges, if you're batting 500, well, in baseball terms, that would be pretty phenomenal. But what I'm saying is, if you're up to bat, if you do 1,000 colleges and 500 of them go well, you're killing
fantastic.
It. Yeah, you're killing it.
You see baseball, speaking of, they're batting 236 right now in baseball. It's the lowest batting average in the last 100 years or so because they fucked with the ball. Too many home runs.
Yeah. See,
and now the pitchers are touching, they have all this grease and shit on their hand.
Right.
And that's becoming a thing. So now the umpires the next 2 weeks are going to be walking to the mound
and looking
at the pitcher,
touching it.
And if you've got the shit, you're out.
Yeah, well, that's like
when you out.
Yeah, when they were putting tar on there, or they had sandpaper. Remember that? Who was the pitcher? Yeah. Do you remember the pitcher? I forgot.
That was the knuckleball pitcher. Yeah,
was on the Phillies. Who do you remember? I don't know. Whatever.
Are you thinking of Gaylord Perry?
Oh, it was Gaylord Perry, where he's got the sandpaper in his hand, and the ump comes and goes, "Let me see your hands." He goes, "What?" Like this, and he throws it.
Yeah. He would be filing literally his nails and shit. Yeah.
But you see the foreign object go spinning off behind the umpire, and all the other umpires see it. Everybody on television, everybody sees it.
Well, this is really bad now. Like when the ball goes in the dugout, like a foul ball, they showed a player on camera. He was showing, it was like this with the glue off the ball. He was showing the camera. There was that much glue, but nobody's saying anything because everybody does it. So I'm not going to come out and tell the umpire your pitcher's doing it because my pitcher's doing it too. So now Major League is going to supposedly, but now how are these umpires? You got an umpire's making, $100,000 a year to a young rookie umpire. He's going to go to the mound and tell Garrett Cole he's out of the game. I don't know. Be interesting the next 2 weeks. They're supposed to do that, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens. Well, same thing with when the Patriots got nailed for videotaping. What was it? The Jets over on the Jet side. Nobody really came out and condemned them because all the teams
right. Everybody does it.
Everybody does it.
Exactly.
But they're also told if you get caught, you're on your own. We're not backing you up.
Right.
We want to be. But if you have some information you want to share with us.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, everybody does it. It's the same with the Astros. Everybody was like, "Ooh, we dodged a bullet on that one." They all cheat.
Yeah.
They all have cameras. They may not have garbage cans and hitting that was a little crazy. but they all have cameras in center field, and they're all telling signals, and they're all cheating, you know.
And then there was the
they got caught.
Yeah, the deflate gate with Brady was a fiasco. Him being suspended for 4 games and all that, still winning multiple Super Bowls. And I'm sorry, who did he play for last year where he won a Super Bowl? Do you remember? Tampa Bay. How glorious. What a great, phenomenal story in sports in the last, I don't know, 25 years or so. It's just
amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the whole team is back. They brought back they didn't lose anyone.
Gronk is back.
They signed everybody. Gronk's back. Everybody who played in the Super Bowl is back. I don't think that's ever happened either.
Gronk's going to play like 3 plays all season.
Huh? That's what people said last year.
He's 30 now.
People were saying last year. People were saying Brady wouldn't make it through a season.
31. Brady is just ridiculous.
You know.
Maybe there's something to this vegan thing. I don't know.
I think there is. I mean,
he's a vegan with a dad's body, and he's a top athlete.
McCartney's almost 80. He plays 3-hour concerts. He's a vegan. Brady's on the field at, he's going to be 50 soon. He's a vegan. So, maybe there is something to it.
Bill Clinton is a vegan now after his many pit stops at the McDonald's drive-through after a jog. Remember, he would jog with Secret Service and then he'd go to McDonald's and he'd order.
I remember Phil Hartman doing that. I don't know if Clinton, did he really do it? I just remember Phil Hartman doing that in a SNL skit.
No.
I don't know if I ever saw Clinton do it.
Clinton did that with the Secret Service. They went jogging and then he stopped in like, oh my God, it's the president. He goes, let me have a quarter pounder. How are you? Please vote for me. Yeah, he was doing all that shit. But he had all that, the health issues, and then he had the surgery and then he had a lung infection and they fixed that. And then he just went vegan.
Yeah. But he's one of those guys, he lost a lot of weight. Somehow he looks worse.
He does. He looks closer to death. Yeah. He looks closer to sickly. Death. He aged like 10 years after this. He went.
Yeah. The losing the weight didn't work out. I think
he's like Skeletor.
He needs a little weight on him. Yeah. Plus he lives with Hillary. I mean, that can't be easy.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Talk about sucking the whole life out of
this house is 5,000 square feet. I'll tell you that. That was there. I could get the maid quarters. My room's right above the maid quarters, and I got a brass pole. I slide down like a fireman, whip out my hose.
Right. There you go.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman. We're talking about Hillary, right? Because I've been banging everything in D.C.
Wow. Sorry. This is the act from 1995.
I whip it out.
Bring it back.
I whip it out like Billy.
Do it. Speaking of the act, hey, didn't you just have a show last night? Tell us about this. What was it? I don't remember.
This was
exactly what happened.
This is
it's a backyard show or something.
Yes, this is derived from my wonderful and lovely and talented, funny comedian wife, Bernadette Pauly. Came up with this. It was quite a build-up. Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get laid.
Someone's in the office. Either trying to get laid or someone's in trouble.
Both. She said that she wanted to do a little backyard speakeasy comedy event, and because they do them, they do these things. They pop up everywhere. So she did a couple of them, and she did one in downtown L.A. And she says it was damn good, but I know I can do it better. And she she exchanged notes with some other people that were doing it, some other producers, I guess, spearheaded the whole thing and then delegated, and I participated, of course, and we set up this beautiful little speakeasy in our backyard with heat lamp. We had quite the lineup. We had Brian Kiley, as you know, and we had Karen Rontowski, and she did the tarot card reading as well. And she had 3 or 4 tarot readings, which was great after the show. And people hung out.
Did you bring that dog?
No, Courage, her dog Courage. She said he's 17 years old. He's deaf. He's blind. And her dog, her vet said he has stage 1 of everything.
Uh-huh.
And she said,
I'm
I'm
amazed it's
spending a
only one.
fortune.
I
She goes,
thought-
I'm spending a fortune on him. And she goes, as long as he's eating.
Oh,
She goes, but
wow.
her tarot card reading, she goes throughout
Mhm.
the pandemic. She's been doing this for years now as a side hustle. She goes, don't feel bad for me financially. She goes, I had a banner year, like even for stand-up
Wow.
comedy because of the pandemic.
Wow.
She was like,
Ah.
7 days a week. Crazy. So she fared well, and she killed
I
it
think
last
one of
night.
those cards. I think one of those cards should say, "Put the dog down." You know what I'm saying? One of those cards should say, "It's time."
She should
Let
have a
that thing go.
self-reflection and give herself her own read on that. But
Let it go.
she was great. Everybody,
that dog wants to go. That dog wants to go. For God's sake.
Well, you and I have both done this recently. That's why we had to put our puppies down. But her
But they
dog
were
is way
17
yeah,
and
her
stage
dog
one
is
of everything.
way
Just
past
let
due.
me go.
Yeah, she's way. The library is calling her up saying he's past due.
Yeah, I got to go.
Let's bring him.
Yeah.
Bring him in. Bring him in.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the show was great. Everybody killed it. Bernie hosted it, and she rocked it. We had.
What are we looking at? Audience. What do we have? We have an audience.
We
people
had.
there?
It was like 30 people, and it was it was tight. We tried to keep a little social distancing, but people did the protocol. They came up our driveway with their mask on, and then once they sat down, they took their mask off, and of course, everybody had a cocktail, and then everybody loosened up.
But they're all vaccinated, right? Everybody's vaccinated.
I would say a majority of them were.
Yeah.
If California has
Oh, good.
54%, the data says maybe it's like 57% now, at least partially vaccinated. So with that in mind, that's the entire state. That's 40 million people. We are greater Los Angeles. So it's much higher there. It's probably like 70%. So I would say 70%. Let's say what is 70? What's 70% of 30 people? That's 21 people were vaccinated.
It's good. It's almost half. I'll go almost half.
It's more than half. It's 70%.
Right? Is it?
I just did the math.
Of 30.
You
you
blocked me out. I just did a quick math. I went 30% of 30 is 9. 9 from 30 is 21. So 21 people are vaccinated. And I referenced it right. I went up and
my finger's always been a mile. Okay. Remember what that was from?
You pulled that from? What was that from?
That was from we did that in a podcast months and months ago.
Yeah,
too.
but what's
one
it
guy?
from?
That's from MASH. MASH.
Yeah.
Colonel
That's right.
Blake. He's looking at a map and he goes, "It's 3 miles." And they go, "How do you know, Henry?" He goes, "My thumb has always been a mile."
That's great.
Anyway, so you got those people. You got how much time are the comedians performing? What do we got? How much time's everybody doing up there in the
15 to 20
backyard?
15 to 20. I think everybody stuck close to it. I went up and did a 5-minute warm-up, and then I brought up Bernie and she hosted, and then I went back up in the middle of the show and I did another like 6 minutes or so. But I just wanted to sprinkle myself and give the other people, in case the whole thing collapsed, I didn't have to take the blame for it. But Brian Kiley just does his thing, and people just they just stare at him and so intent on what his next word is going to be, because he's always taking that left, or right, throws you off. He was great. Tom Clark, everybody had a great sets and crushed. And the audience, the audience we had, I would say, Bernie, how old were those? Oh, the audience is posting. Oh, wow. Look at that.
We look legit, hon.
Oh, they are. Our audience is posting videos and pictures of last night's event. But
on the patreon.com/the2dicks.
Yeah, you can see a little sample.
That's where they should be posting it.
We're very proud, and I'm very proud of Bernadette, who, like I said, spearheaded the whole thing. And these people are just dying to laugh. And we had, the girls were about what, 24? Were they college or were they out of college? I'll show them. They're right here. Check them out.
24.
Wow, wow,
Hey now.
wow,
Hey
wow.
now.
And then we had
really should be
people.
on the
I think we
Patreon,
had
folks.
there was a couple of people like in their 60s. And then it was so funny. Brian Kiley, he lives just a few blocks from here. His realtor came. Not knowing he was there. She sold his house just a few blocks away about 10 years ago. Sold their house. So it was like, it was great. We had people from Glendale. We had a couple from Atlanta.
Come all the way from Atlanta to see this.
Well, they came here for their, I guess they wanted to get they were here early, like 7:00. And we brought them in and we gave them a complimentary drink just for coming in early, and a blowjob. No, they were vacationing out here. They came to get away from Atlanta. They wanted to always come to LA. So they're here for a week or two. And this came up on Eventbrite, and they said, let's go check it out. And they did. And that's cool. And then we had people from neighboring cities. So we thought we were just going to get like a neighborhood thing. Was anybody from our neighborhood?
Right.
I think that the realtor lives here.
Okay. Just 3 people from Studio City. Everybody else was from.
Right.
It was awesome. I can't say it enough.
Wow.
Yeah, what huge success.
What do you charge for this? How does that, what do you, how much per ticket? What are we getting per ticket?
Well, general admission was 20, but then you could upgrade to a VIP and you would get certain things. It was BYOB, or you get certain things and some food items, prepackaged food items.
Okay.
And some adult beverage, but I'm going to keep that on low. So
right.
Probably averaged about.
And then for a VIP, extra VIP, special VIP, you get to be the one to put Rontowski's dog down. You get to be that person because that dog has to go. I've known that dog for 20 years.
The one episode, yeah, she
said
he was
17.
No, that's what I said. 17. I'm like, come on.
He's not 17.
That thing.
I've known that dog, unless there's another dog named Courage. I've known that dog over 20 years.
I think she freezes him at night, so he's actually
something's going on.
Yeah, she's slowing down his metabolism. But
she's about 80, and that dog is fucking 200. Come on.
Rontowski looks great. She does yoga like 6 days a week, so she was all showing her pipes off, and so there were young girls were exposing their shoulders, so she was trying to compete with them, and she looked great. Wow. Again, I can't say enough. The Clarks had great sets, and I think Steph Clark was the youngest on the lineup. I think she's in her early 30s, 30. I don't know. And then it was great. So we had the demographic from 20s to 60s, and we had different people of color and ethnicities, I guess you would call it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was quite the.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah, it was quite.
Look at you mixing it up with your diversity.
We did
raising your pride flag.
No, unintentionally. I was just weird how you can send it out, and the common theme is, let's go see a little speakeasy comedy show. It's comedy was the great.
Right.
What do you call it?
Yeah.
The
organizer,
cohesive
equalizer.
No, whatever it's called.
I don't know. What's that word? What are we looking for?
I'm trying to pull it. You're not helping.
Comedy would be the great
ingredient to bring us all together.
Ingredient.
It's going to say it's world peace. Okay. Stand-up comedy is world peace. That's the only way we're going to get there.
You think so?
No, it's the only way we'll get there, but it's not going to happen.
No.
We're out.
No. Yeah, we'll be canceled by then anyway.
Stand-up comedy won't even exist eventually.
You don't think? I think.
The court jester started out right. What was the first caveman doing to get laughs? He had to be making fun of his. He had to be making fun of his fellow caveman, right?
Yeah, well, it's like the 2,000-year-old man. Mel Brooks.
Right.
Remember he? Yeah. They can all go to hell except for Cave 76. That was his national. Did you have a national anthem?
Yes, we.
Yeah. But it's hilarious if you no one talks about it because it's revered. But if you listen to that album, I mean, it would be he would be canceled tonight. If anyone ever went, I better listen, because he's talking about it's a lot of rape. There's a lot of weird shit going on with those cavemen, and it's all ethnic. I mean, they're all Jews, and the Jews. So it would be canceled immediately, but no one gives a shit. Obviously, who cares? He's 90 and he's a legend. But if somebody went, I'm going to look into this, there would be trending on Twitter, cancel Mel Brooks. I mean,
often in many things in films, anyways, or sketches and skits, the underlining tone can be very political, or it could be
rape.
What I'm saying is they're taking a backdrop,
and
they're implementing their own humorous sketch. Yes, but what did cavemen do? They'd walk over and they'd grab a woman. They say, "I'm taking her now," right?
Right. Well, that's like
and then they sometimes the cavemen would fight, or something like, "Okay, I'm taking your sister, and I'm going to get your mother."
Yeah, if he was bigger, it was like anything. But I always love how the Indians, the Atlanta Braves or the Cleveland Indians or the Redskins, those are problems. But the Vikings, Minnesota Vikings, what were they about? Vikings,
rape and pillage.
That's it. So how come we haven't gone nuts on the Vikings yet? Get rid of you. I mean, we should get rid of the Vikings, for God's sake, But that was their whole. They come to town and like pirates. Want to get rid of the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? It was
they would just go in and slaughter an entire village.
The men,
rape,
kill the men and rape the wives,
and then kill the wives. Sometimes
that was the other Mel Brooks show when what was it? The TV show. He had a series in the 70s, but when the song was they just went in the reverse. They go, we rape the men and we kill their wives.
Comedy,
which of course you would never get away with today.
Isn't it funny? Mark Norman comedy, and that's like he's making fun of the hack thing that was done 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Comedy.
I didn't want to tell him. John Campanera has been doing that forever. So
that's what I'm saying.
John Campanera does that.
John probably,
but he does that as a thing, as a slogan, the same way Norman.
Segue. Right.
Norman's never seen him.
Nope.
But it's become. Norman was. I was listening to a podcast where he said it's almost annoying now because people after punchlines they yell it out from the crowd. You know what I mean? If he has a joke that goes well, there's a bunch of dudes yelling out comedy.
Well, and I said a hack bit, but Campanera was probably the originator of it, so it wasn't hack when he's and he's doing the same thing. He's making fun of the fact. Go ahead.
Right here, like he does the first joke, and then he announces afterwards that was the first joke, and then he goes comedy coming at you.
Right.
But that's his thing. Now, Campanera does comedy coming at you.
Yeah, that's his tag.
Whereas Norman just comedy.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this whole new generation, and we're fans of Mark Norman as well. We enjoyed having him on the podcast. But it's just every, 15, 20 years, some new comic comes out and everybody goes, oh my God, they're amazing. And then you go, yeah, well, check out these 6 comics from 30 years ago that we're doing this style.
Oh yeah. You just don't want to become that guy though. I don't want to become like Mr. Saturday Night. You see Billy Crystal, he's like, he's 80 years old watching Evening at the Improv and he's shaking his head. He's all annoyed. And you know what I mean? Like you become not only bitter, but you got to realize it. I mean, nothing new. I mean, there's nothing really new. You just new ways of doing things.
Right.
And, I'm not going to sit there and go, hey, wait a second, Campanera does that.
But bitch. As they say, imitation is the best form of flattery, right?
Who says that, by the way?
I don't know. Someone said it. Someone.
I don't even think it's.
Jay Leno said, just write faster. Write faster.
Write faster?
Yeah. If someone.
Easy for Jay to say.
I know. He's sitting he's coming up on his billion.
I don't find those to be the
billion with a B. Billion with a B.
So there's another one that just sits there.
I'm going to try. It's so funny. I didn't try I didn't try your joke out last night because I didn't spend a lot of time.
It was perfect. In the backyard. Perfect.
Yeah, of course.
pressure.
After I get off stage, I'm like, I probably could have done at least another 5 minutes, snuck it in there. But
Yeah.
well, we're planning on doing these pop-up shows at different locations. We're going to give it a go for the rest of the summer, but we may revisit these the COVID Cafe, as we called it, where we spent a majority of the pandemic trying to enjoy the outdoors with our heat lamps and whatnot and barbecuing. That kind of saved us, man. That whole space back there just got us through this.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll once I get off this boat, I'll come out there and I'll do one of those shows.
All right. Well,
you know what I mean?
I'll run it by the old lady and see if she'll go for it. But inviting yourself on air puts me in an awkward position.
I'm not asking.
I know you're not asking.
I'm just saying.
Honey, Al's producing his own show. He's got a date November 15th.
Not producing. I'm coming out, and
you are more than welcome. And if you did really come out, of course, I'd make you close the show out, motherfucker.
Close it out, man. Yeah, with billions with a B and losing my gut, all sorts of killer material.
I'm gonna get those bits in a pretty good shape for you.
Well, I'm gonna try them next week. All right. I'll be doing late night adult comedy.
Why don't you record it and then I'll record mine because I have some shows coming up where
we'll
stick it in there. And you know what it is? I was more aware of not trying that out because we're doing our own show, producing our own show here. So I was more aware of this is not the time to experiment. Keep it tight.
You don't want to bomb.
And I brought, I brought in, we brought in some, sure hits. The people that were coming in were
right.
Their batting average was pretty high.
Sure. Have to. We don't want to have you're not going to have a bunch of bombs in the backyard. And these people from Atlanta sitting there going, this is LA. This fucking sucks. Then they get a tarot card and says they're going to die in a week. I mean, what kind of a night is this? This is awful. This isn't any fun. The card reads, you will divorce and you will die of a terrible disease. Sorry. You don't want that.
It's so funny. I told Bernadette to have a cutoff point of the ticket sales.
Booze? Cut off the booze.
Well, the booze is minimal. Well, some people brought their own bottle of wine or beer, but
I'm saying Bernadette, just to cut it off. Enough with the drinking.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. You told her there was a cutoff point.
She doesn't need you to tell her that.
It didn't roll with the joke.
She hears it from herself and myself.
And her shrink.
I didn't hear it. Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
What else?
Yeah.
We got to wrap it up here, kid.
Okay. No, that's it. I'm good. Like I said, show's beginning the 12th. So this will be out Monday the 7th. I don't even know.
You have do you have 6 days left?
I think less.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
To a cruise.
Yeah, this will be out the 7th.
Cruise.
And
this will be out the 7th.
You have 5 days before the passengers come on and your next show.
Passengers, 1,000 passengers will come on Saturday, and we'll be sailing. God damn it, we'll be doing shows and see what happens. Hopefully, the whole thing doesn't implode.
I'm sure. I'm telling you, these audiences are so hungry. They're so hungry, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll feed them first, and then we'll throw them in the theater and let them sit there and watch. So.
Well, you're going to see a tick up in the improvement of the food when the passengers get on board.
Oh, yeah?
That's my prediction. I want a full report.
All right. Will do. You'll get it.
Well, thanks for listening to the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Until next time. The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.